what is the difference between a victim and victim mentality? A victim is a person who goes through tragedy that is unexpected and not their fault. Or we could say that a victim is a person who suffers a traumatic event that they're not responsible for in any way, because that traumatic event happens to them when they're completely powerless, completely defenseless, completely helpless. And this traumatic event can be natural disasters or man-made disasters. So natural disasters, we're looking at things like flooding, and man-made disasters, here you have a perpetrator who intentionally inflicts harm on a person who cannot defend themselves in any way or help themselves in any way. That's why they're a victim. That's why they're absolutely not responsible for the trauma that happens to them. Now, victim mentality is a pattern of thinking that enables the person to continue playing the role of a victim despite having the power to change their situation, despite having the defenses to help themselves in that situation, despite either being able to help themselves in that situation or being able to get help for themselves in that situation. So we can look at an example. A 6-year-old who's being sexually abused by a 40-year-old is a victim because this 6-year-old is completely defenseless, completely helpless, and completely powerless. But the same 6-year-old who's going through the abuse ceases to be a victim once they become an adult, because now they're expected to have acquired the ability or the power to defend themselves, to have developed complex thinking, to deal with the cognitive impact of that trauma. And if they can't do it on their own, then they can get help to get better. So a 40-year-old who unfortunately went through abuse when they were 6 years old is not a victim, because circumstances have changed and also their ability has grown. So they have the power to use to change their situation. They have the defenses and they can get the help. So that is what then ceases to make them a victim. But if they continue to feel like a victim, if they continue to have a thought process that habitually puts them at the victim position, then that is victim mentality. It's a maladaptive way of coping with a traumatic event long after the trauma has stopped.